From 1972 to today, 6 actresses who portrayed Billie Holiday have shared the same tragic destiny. From Diana Ross to Andra Day, every woman who took on the Lady Day role experienced inexplicable collapses in her life after the performance. Career peaks followed by sudden falls, mysterious illnesses, scandals, and paranormal experiences. Most shocking of all was these actresses' obsessions with the Strange Fruit song and their claims of seeing Billie's ghostly apparitions. The paranormal events Andra Day experienced after her performance in the United States vs. Billie Holiday made this curse real. Unexplained incidents on set during filming, mysterious jazz music heard by actresses at night, and silhouettes appearing in mirrors revealed a mystery that shook Hollywood. This 50-year curse suggests that Lady Day is still among us, trying to send messages to the actresses who portray her. If you want to learn the complete story of this 50-year curse and the detailed paranormal experiences of these 6 actresses, don't forget to subscribe to our channel, because this story reveals one of Hollywood's darkest secrets and Billie Holiday's presence after death. When Diana Ross portrayed Billie Holiday in the 1972 film Lady Sings the Blues, she didn't know she was becoming the first link in a curse chain that would last 50 years. The film had achieved both commercial and critical success and marked a major turning point in Ross's career. However, the events she experienced after filming ended would show that there was a much darker truth behind this success. During filming, Ross had delved so deeply into Billie Holiday's character that when filming ended, she struggled to separate herself from the character. The first warning signs began a few days after leaving the film set. Ross described waking up in the middle of the night singing Strange Fruit and not remembering how it started. Even more disturbing were the dreams Ross experienced after the film. In her dreams, she constantly saw Billie Holiday, talked with her, and when she woke up, she remembered the details of conversations she had experienced in real life. In one interview, Ross said, "It's like Billie is trying to talk to me, but I can't understand what she's trying to say." The most striking incident was when Ross saw Billie Holiday's face in the mirror at her home. This event frightened Ross so much that she replaced all the mirrors in her house. However, the same images continued to appear in the new mirrors as well. After the film, Ross's career also experienced unexpected fluctuations. She experienced a period of stagnation in her music career, and unexplained tensions emerged in her personal life. During this period, Ross said, "It's like Lady Day's spirit continues to influence me." In 1995, Audra McDonald, who portrayed Billie Holiday in the Broadway play Lady Day at Emerson's Bar and Grill, experienced much more intense versions of the similar experiences Diana Ross had. McDonald's performance was characterized by critics as the most authentic Billie Holiday portrayal seen at that time. During her performances, McDonald felt she wasn't alone on stage, sensing as if an invisible presence was singing along with her. "When I sang Strange Fruit, it was like my voice doubled, just like someone was singing along with me," McDonald said. Her most unforgettable experience occurred during the 50th performance of the play. McDonald claimed that while singing Strange Fruit, she saw another shadow next to the spotlight on stage. This shadow displayed Billie Holiday's characteristic posture and moved in sync with McDonald. Throughout the play, McDonald described hearing the Strange Fruit melody in her home at midnight and being unable to find where the sound was coming from. Once she had followed the sound to her basement and found an old radio playing. However, the radio wasn't plugged in and continued to play. Strange events also occurred in McDonald's dressing room. When she looked in the mirror, she sometimes saw Billie Holiday's face instead of her own reflection. These images were so clear that McDonald became afraid to look in mirrors for a while. After the play, McDonald's career also experienced unexpected changes. Planned projects were canceled, and unexplained health problems emerged. McDonald said, "After the Lady Day role, my life completely changed, as if she continues to influence me." In 2016, Regina King, who directed the documentary The Life and Death of Billie Holiday, experienced similar paranormal experiences during the process of telling Billie Holiday's story, even though she didn't portray her. Throughout the project, King had deeply researched Lady Day's life and examined the experiences of actresses who had portrayed her. King's first strange experience occurred during the process of digitalizing Billie Holiday's old recordings. Sound technicians discovered that in some recordings there was another voice alongside Billie's voice. This voice sounded like Billie was talking to herself, but no one else was in the studio during recording. During editing, King often felt she wasn't alone in the editing room, especially when editing Strange Fruit recordings. She saw cold air currents and mysterious shadows in her room. One night when she arrived at the editing room in the morning, she found that Strange Fruit had been programmed to play repeatedly on her computer, The most frightening incident occurred when King was researching Billie Holiday's final concert. While examining old photographs, she saw another female figure next to Billie in one of them. This figure wasn't in the photograph's original but had appeared in the digital copy. Throughout the documentary, King also experienced paranormal events in her home. She heard jazz music in her house at midnight, and when she woke up in the morning, she found that radio and music systems were turned off. Once she had hung a large poster of Billie Holiday on her house wall, and the poster kept falling, no matter how securely she mounted it. After the documentary was completed, King said she didn't want to do anything related to the project. Telling Lady Day's story disturbed her. "I feel like she's still here and doesn't want her story to be told," she said. In 2019, Fantasia Barrino, who performed a Billie Holiday tribute performance in the Color Purple Broadway production, had portrayed Lady Day for just one night. However, this single performance left lasting effects on her life. During pre-performance preparations, Barrino felt her body begin to tremble while putting on Billie Holiday's costumes in the dressing room. "The moment I put on the costume, I felt like I had entered someone else's body," she said. During the stage performance, Barrino noticed she was making movements she wasn't controlling. She was waving her hands with Billie Holiday's characteristic movements, walking in her style. Most surprising was how her voice completely changed when singing Strange Fruit. After the performance, Barrino described having difficulty breathing and feeling chest pain as she left the stage. Doctors couldn't find any physical problems, but Barrino said she felt like she had experienced Lady Day's pain. Her most frightening experience occurred that night in her hotel. When she woke up at midnight, she saw a woman's silhouette in her room. This silhouette was in Billie Holiday's characteristic posture and was humming Strange Fruit. When Barrino turned on the light, the silhouette disappeared, but gardenia flower scent had spread throughout the room. After this experience, Barrino announced she would never take on a Billie Holiday role again. "That one night completely changed me. Lady Day's spirit is very strong and still here," she said. In 2020, director Dee Reese, who prepared a documentary about Billie Holiday, experienced the paranormal events that both Regina King and other actresses had experienced during the filming process. Reese had started the project with a completely objective approach but soon couldn't maintain this objectivity. Reese's first paranormal experience began while analyzing Billie Holiday's old recordings. While listening to original recordings of Strange Fruit, she discovered abnormal patterns in the sound waves. These patterns showed as if there was another voice alongside Billie's voice. During the filming process, Reese began experiencing technical problems with her cameras. When filming scenes related to Billie Holiday, mysterious shadows appeared on the cameras. These shadows couldn't be cleaned even in post-production and had to remain in the final edit. The most striking incident occurred when Reese was scanning Billie Holiday's old photographs. Photographs that appeared normal in the scanner displayed different images when transferred to the computer. In some photographs, Billie's facial expression changed, while in others, other figures appeared in the background. During the editing process, Reese also constantly experienced technical malfunctions. Computer systems continuously crashed during scenes related to Strange Fruit. Even when backup systems were used, the same problems repeated. Eventually, Reese was forced to abandon the project halfway through. Telling Lady Day's story disturbs her. "Continuing this project is risky for both my and my team's safety," she said. In 2021, Andra Day, who portrayed Lady Day in the United States vs. Billie Holiday, experienced the most intense paranormal experiences ever recorded. Day's performance was evaluated by critics as the portrayal that best reflected Billie Holiday's spirit, but the cost of this success was very heavy. Before filming began, Day was listening to Billie Holiday's old recordings for hours to prepare for the character. During this process, she began hearing the Strange Fruit melody at midnight in her home. The sound always came from a different room, and she never found its source. The events that occurred on the film set during filming affected the entire crew. When Day was filming the Strange Fruit scene, everyone on set suddenly felt cold. Despite the temperature gauge showing normal, everyone had the feeling of goosebumps. The most striking incident occurred in Day's trailer. During one lunch break, when she entered her trailer, she saw Billie Holiday's face in the mirror instead of her own reflection. This image was so clear and long-lasting that Day left the trailer and asked for help. Security guards checked the trailer but couldn't find anything abnormal. Throughout filming, Day's physical appearance also began to change. She lost weight, her skin tone changed, and she experienced problems with her vocal cords. Doctors couldn't explain these changes, but Day said, "It's like my body is transforming into Billie's." The most frightening experience occurred after filming ended. When Day put on Billie's costume one last time to say goodbye to the film, the costume wouldn't come off by itself. Zippers wouldn't open, buttons wouldn't unfasten.
Eventually, they had to cut the costume to remove it.
During the filming of the United States vs. Billie Holiday, not only Andra Day but the entire crew experienced paranormal events. Director Lee Daniels documented these events that occurred during filming and included them in the film's special materials. Sound technicians reported hearing jazz music on set even when cameras weren't rolling. This music intensified especially during moments when strange fruit scenes were being filmed. Sound recording devices couldn't detect this music, but people could clearly hear it. Lighting technicians observed spotlights automatically turning to positions from Billie Holiday's old concerts. Although lighting control systems worked normally, lights seemed to be directed by an invisible director. The costume team discovered that Billie Holiday costumes changed by themselves overnight. When they arrived in the morning, they found costumes in different positions, sometimes as completely different characters. The most unsettling incident was experienced by the makeup team. While doing Andra Day's makeup, they saw her face transform into Billie Holiday's in the mirror. This transformation was so realistic that the makeup artist quit and left the set. Set security cameras recorded shadows moving on set during night hours. These shadows were in human form, but no one was on set at those hours. When the security team examined these recordings, they noticed the shadows displayed Billie Holiday's characteristic movements. The events occurring on the United States vs. Billie Holiday set were so intense that producers invited paranormal expert Dr. Sarah Mitchell to the set. Dr. Mitchell was an expert who had been researching paranormal events for 20 years and had dealt with many famous cases. Dr. Mitchell's initial examinations showed that the set atmosphere wasn't normal. Electromagnetic field measurements showed abnormal values, especially in areas where strange fruit scenes were filmed. These values were indicators of a strong paranormal presence. Temperature measurements also yielded abnormal results. There were constantly changing cold spots on the set, and these spots coincided with Billie Holiday's positions on stage. Dr. Mitchell said this situation was a sign of a strong spiritual presence. Sound analyses confirmed that there were sounds on set that couldn't be recorded but could be heard. These sounds particularly resembled the strange fruit melody and were compatible with Billie Holiday's voice frequencies. Dr. Mitchell's most striking discovery was related to the set's energy fields. Energy traces of traumas that Billie Holiday had experienced were still present in this area, and Andra Day's performance was triggering these energies. The expert concluded, "There's a strong spiritual presence on this set, and this presence is connected to Billie Holiday. Andra Day's performance is activating this presence." The experiences of the 6 actresses who portrayed Billie Holiday over 50 years show surprising similarities. The common patterns they all experience suggest this curse might be real. The first common pattern is obsession with the strange fruit song. All 6 actresses describe constantly humming this song after their performances and being unable to get it out of their heads. The song appears in every moment of their daily lives and disturbs them. The second pattern is the experience of seeing Billie Holiday's face in mirrors. This experience shared by all actresses occurs in the same way at different times and places. When they expect to see their own reflections, they encounter Billie's face. The third pattern is the experience of hearing jazz music at midnight. All the actresses describe hearing strange fruit or other Billie Holiday songs at midnight in their homes or hotels. They search for sound sources but no device is playing. The fourth pattern is cold air currents and gardenia flower scent. The gardenia scent, which was Billie Holiday's characteristic perfume, constantly appears during the paranormal experiences the actresses have. The fifth pattern is career and health problems. All actresses experiencing unexpected career declines and unexplained health problems after their Billie Holiday roles is considered part of the curse. Both psychologists and paranormal experts offer different opinions about the Billie Holiday curse. Dr. James Peterson from UCLA tries to explain this situation with psychological factors. According to Dr. Peterson, Billie Holiday's traumatic life story psychologically affects the actresses who portray her. Traumas like racism, addiction, and FBI surveillance that Lady Day experienced create deep psychological effects in actresses, he says. However, paranormal expert Dr. Sarah Mitchell thinks differently. According to Mitchell, Billie Holiday's spirit is still in the world and trying to send messages to actresses who portray her. All these experiences show the same patterns and are too specific to be explained by psychological factors, she says. Parapsychologist Dr. Michael Chang from Yale University explains this situation with the theory of residual hauntings. According to Chang, Powerful emotional events leave energy traces on places and objects, and these traces can be triggered later. Neurologist Dr. Lisa Rodriguez from Harvard Medical School tries to explain the experiences actresses have with brain chemistry changes. Intense character work can create permanent changes in brain chemistry, she says. However, despite all scientific explanations, the fact that all 6 actresses experience the same events seems to require an explanation beyond these theories. In all the experiences the actresses had, the Strange Fruit song plays a central role. This song, being Billie Holiday's most powerful and simultaneously most traumatic work, might explain its role in the curse. Strange Fruit was a very powerful protest song describing lynching cases in the American South in the 1930s. Billie Holiday was taking great risks when singing this song because it was very controversial at the time and had attracted FBI attention. According to music historian Dr. Angela Davis, Strange Fruit wasn't just a song for Billie Holiday but also a life philosophy. This song was a symbol of Billie's stance against social injustice, Davis says. Paranormal experts think Strange Fruit is the work that most powerfully contains Billie Holiday's spiritual energy. The song's emotional intensity and Billie's devotion to this song show that her spiritual presence is concentrated in this song. All the actresses experience their most intense paranormal experiences while singing Strange Fruit. During this song they feel Billie's presence most powerfully and think they're communicating with her. The pain and rebellion in the song's lyrics might represent unresolved traumas in Billie Holiday's soul. Therefore, the song might have become the medium where her spiritual presence manifests most powerfully. In recent years, with the development of technology, more evidence has been collected about the Billie Holiday Curse. Paranormal activities have been documented using digital audio recording devices, electromagnetic field measurements, and thermal cameras. Digital audio recording devices used on the United States vs. Billie Holiday set detected sounds that the human ear could hear but couldn't technically be recorded. These sounds were compatible with Billie Holiday's voice frequencies. Thermal cameras recorded heat sources on the set that resembled human body temperature but were invisible. These heat sources became more prominent especially during Andra Day's performance moments. Electromagnetic field measurements showed abnormal values during paranormal activity. These values were compatible with typical electromagnetic signatures of powerful spiritual presences. The most striking evidence came from digital photograph analyses. In set photographs, figures that weren't visible under normal lighting conditions but emerged after digital analysis were discovered. These figures resembled Billie Holiday's physical characteristics. Sound spectrum analyses detected abnormal frequencies during Strange Fruit performances. These frequencies matched the sound characteristics in Billie Holiday's original recordings. The Billie Holiday Curse has caused serious discussions in the Hollywood industry. Some producers and directors have begun avoiding Billie Holiday projects on this subject. The Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences hasn't made an official statement on this matter, but there are widespread whispers about this curse within the industry. Some agencies are warning their clients about Billie Holiday projects. Insurance companies have placed Billie Holiday-related film projects in the high-risk category. It's noted that actresses working on these projects need special insurance packages. The SAG-AFTRA union has developed special safety protocols for Billie Holiday projects. These protocols include actresses' access to psychological support and paranormal expert consultation. Some major studios have completely stopped Billie Holiday biography projects. This situation has created a stagnation in telling Lady Day's story on the big screen. However, some independent producers see this curse as a marketing opportunity. They've started developing Billie Holiday projects focused on paranormal elements. In recent years, with increased awareness about the Billie Holiday Curse, attempts to break this curse have begun. Paranormal experts and spiritual healers have started trying various methods. Famous medium John Edward attempted to reach Billie Holiday's spirit. According to Edward, Billie's spirit remained in the world because she couldn't resolve her traumas and is seeking help. A spiritual healing center in New York organized special sessions for actresses who portrayed Billie Holiday. In these sessions, attempts were made to enable actresses to send messages to Billie's spirit. Tibetan healers performed special rituals in Baltimore, Billie Holiday's birthplace. The purpose of these rituals was to bring her spirit to peace and end the curse. Some Christian churches organized special prayers for Billie Holiday's soul. The purpose of these prayers was to bring her soul to eternal rest. However, no attempt has been completely successful so far. The curse continues, and new Billie Holiday projects are still considered at risk. Despite the curse, Billie Holiday's story will continue to be told. However, future projects are being planned considering this paranormal risk factor. Netflix is developing a series project about Billie Holiday, but instead of a single actress in the main role, multiple actresses are planned to portray Lady Day. It's thought that this method might reduce the paranormal effect.
HBO is preparing a documentary about the Billie Holiday Curse. This documentary will include the experiences of the 6 actresses and opinions of paranormal experts. A new Billie Holiday musical is being prepared on Broadway, but the actress who will portray the main role hasn't been found yet. Many famous actresses say they received offers for this role but refused. Disney is developing an animated film project about Billie Holiday's childhood years. It's thought that the animation format might be protected from paranormal effects. Independent film producers are developing horror films centered around the curse. These films will be horror stories constructed around the Billie Holiday Curse. The Billie Holiday Curse, lasting 50 years, continues to be one of Hollywood's greatest mysteries. The similar paranormal experiences of 6 actresses from Diana Ross to Andra Day suggest this curse might be real. While scientific explanations can't fully explain these experiences, paranormal experts believe Billie Holiday's powerful spiritual presence continues. The central role of the strange fruit song in this process might be an indicator of Billie's unresolved traumas. While technological evidence supports the existence of paranormal activity, the Hollywood industry approaches this matter cautiously. Future Billie Holiday projects are being planned considering this paranormal risk factor. Lady Day's story will continue to be told because her artistic legacy is very valuable. However, actresses telling this story know that they might not just be playing a role, but encountering the still active spiritual presence of a legend who died 60 years ago. Is the Billie Holiday curse real, or is it a psychological effect created by a powerful legend? The answer to this question remains unclear. However, the experiences of the 6 actresses show that this mysterious phenomenon will continue.